Before we solve this equation, we first should isolate our square root expression here. So we're going to go ahead and add 3 to both sides. If we add 3 here, that'll leave us with 2 square root of x plus 11. If we add 3 here, we better add 3 over here to get x plus 3. Now we'll go ahead and square both sides. If I square this term, I need to make sure I square this term. Squaring this term, you square the 2, which is 4. You also square the square root here, which turns into x plus 11. That's going to equal over here, if you square this, you need to be sure to FOIL that out to get an x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now I need to distribute my 4 to get 4x plus 44, which equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. I notice that for this particular problem I have a term that's squared, so I need 0 on one side and then we'll factor. So I'm going to move my 4x by subtracting 4x over here, which will leave me with my 44. I'm also going to subtract 4x here, which will leave me with 2x. And I still have my 9 on the end. Now, to finally get 0 on this left-hand side, I'll subtract 44 here to get 0. But if I subtract 44 on the left side, I need to make sure that I subtract 44 here to get a negative 35. We can now factor, and to factor this out, factors of negative 35 that will add up to the 2 will be x plus 7 times x minus 5. And that makes it so the x times the x will be the x squared. X times that is negative 5x. 7 times x is 7x, and those will add up to the 2x, while the 7 times the negative 5 makes the negative 35. Now we have 2 possible solutions. X plus 7 will either equal 0 or x minus 5 will equal 0. Here, if I subtract 7 on both sides, x equals negative 7. Here, if I add 5 to both sides, x would equal 5. We have 2 possible solutions. It's very important to check them. Sometimes they both work, sometimes neither of them do. So let's check them. Let's first check x equals negative 7. So I'm going to plug negative 7 in where the x is. So that gives me 2 times the square root of negative 7 plus 11 minus 3 equals negative 7. This gives you 2 times the square root of 4 minus 3 equaling negative 7. Square root of 4 is 2, so that's 2 times 2 minus 3 equaling negative 7, or 4 minus 3, and that ends up being 1 equaling negative 7. Well, that's not true. Since that's not true, we would say that this is not an okay solution. It's an extraneous solution. Let's check our 5. Plugging that in for x in both places, we have 2 times the square root of 5 plus 11 minus 3 equaling 5. 5 plus 11 is 16. And then square root of 16 is 4, so that's 2 times 4 minus 3 equaling 5. And 2 times 4 is 8. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So that one checks out just fine, so this answer is perfectly okay. So our solution set just includes the value of 5.